So today I'm going to take you on a tour of Geelong. So welcome and come with me. We're going to head out to Armstrong Creek. We have plenty of blocks of land and we have plenty of things to explore and discover together. So I can showcase to you what Geelong and Armstrong Creek has to offer for all people looking to purchase their first home or even people looking to invest out this way. So the drive from Melbourne to Geelong took me just over an hour. It's about an 85-kilometre trip over the Westgate Bridge. Infrastructure works on those new roads make it a straight trip from all the way from Melbourne to Geelong. So literally just over an hour and you're here. Sitting here at the local eatery, which is at the Homeco Armstrong Creek Town Centre. About to indulge in probably one of the best cup of coffees that there is in Armstrong Creek. What a beautiful location. If you actually look over my shoulder, you can actually see the library. It's one of the best looking libraries that you've ever seen. This town centre has pretty much everything that you'd need. It's got, the Coles, Snits if you want to have a chicken burger. We've got a fitness centre upstairs and literally every shop that you can conceive of within a kilometre or two of where people live. It's an amazing little town centre. Actually sitting on the first level of the Armstrong Creek Library, and would you believe it or not, I'm in winter and I'm sitting outside. This is a phenomenal library, it really is. I'm sitting here on the first level and I'm looking out at Armstrong Creek at the moment, and I've got the town centre shopping centre over here. I can see building works going on in front of me, and I've got some more vacant paddocks which I know are earmarked for further property to be built over the years. But if you come down this way, I have never seen a library that is set up and looks exactly like this. It's just truly amazing. And within a 2 to 3 kilometre radius of where I am right now, we have early learning centres, we have kindergartens, public primary schools, private primary schools, Catholic schools. We also have 2 new schools opening in 2026. And they're all, as I said, within a 2 to 3 kilometre radius of the town centre. Within the Armstrong Creek Master Plan, medical centres or doctors' facilities, hospitals have been well and truly taken care of. We have GPs, we have dental care, we have all cares from a medical perspective that you need. So if we've got a sick child, which I've had in the past, I've got emergency 12 kilometres away, but for non-urgent care, I've got care literally around the corner. Well, the closest train station to Armstrong Creek is the Marshall train station. You can see here we're standing, we have the Marshall train station a kilometre that way, and for those 4 kilometres this way, we've got the Warren Ponds train station. Now, it's a V-line service that runs from Marshall to Southern Cross, and it takes around about an hour and 5 in peak hour traffic. Well, right now I'm standing in the original part of Armstrong Creek, and this parkland is very typical of what you'll find throughout the estate. But who's actually living here? The people that have relocated have come from Melbourne, and they've come to these beautiful brand new homes, and the reason is they're so affordable. Outside of that, we're sitting in a location that is so close to Geelong. It's so close to Bells Beach. We have parklands, we have sporting precincts, we have shopping centres, we have medicals, and we have schools. Everything that somebody needs is right at their fingertips. And what you'll find is that most people living out here are young families, children running in abundance. So their nightlife, cafes, restaurants are all abuzz. The greater city of Geelong, the council are a progressive council. They've invested so much money in the local infrastructure, in jobs, and they've won some big deals to get big businesses from Melbourne all the way out to Geelong. Amazon being a big one that's just been signed up by Geelong. Progressive council really love the foreshore, love the activities over the summertime, and are really inviting people to come and be part of the great city of Geelong. So why should I buy land and build a house rather than buying an established property? There are a number of reasons that one should consider this. So the first one that comes to mind is using government grants and using first home buyer rebates that enable you to buy the block of land, build a house for significantly less outlay than what you would if you were going to buy an established property. The second reason why you should buy a block of land and build a house is that you're getting something brand new, which means that you've got energy efficiencies from day one, meaning less maintenance, beautiful home from day one. As soon as you move in, there's no need to actually go and fix anything up. And the last reason really comes down to investment specific. So if you're an investor and you buy a block of land and you build a house, you have the full tax depreciation for the next 30 years on the build which gives you around about $5,000 to $10,000 back every year in your tax pocket. So how much money can you make on a property in Geelong? I'm going to do the old style here and pick up a piece of paper because this is really, really important. This is not hypothetical. This is actually based on real. In April 2021, the owner of a property in Mount Dunedin, just around the corner from here, signed contracts to purchase a block of land for $240,000. To build a home, which was a 4-bedroom home on that block of land, was $274,400, which brought that total to $514,000. So just over 3 years later, in fact in October 2024, the person sold this property for $645,000. That delivered a gain of $100,600 and a return on her investment of 25.4%. So this example, right, it shows the strong potential of building a new home in this area and what it could look like for you. So rather than give you hypotheticals and say to you, this is what we forecast it's going to be, there's an actual. And that's real life, real client, and that client is more than happy to share her story with you. The growth outlook for Geelong is absolutely fantastic. There's actually predicted to be 7 to 9% annual growth here in Geelong. And a lot of that's got to do with the infrastructure works that are going on. You only have to take a drive around Geelong at the moment, or Armstrong Creek in particular, to see all of the works, all of the new businesses, the new business hubs that are being built here. Right now, you can buy a block of land, build a house for $650,000 that we know is going to be worth $800,000, $850,000 in a couple of years' time. So the grant's available out here in Armstrong Creek. Because we're in regional Victoria, we have the $10,000 first homeowner grant. Secondly to that, because the blocks of land are under $600,000, we qualify for no stamp duty at all. And on top of that, we have for single mums a 2% deposit requirement, which means most people earning an income have the ability to afford a beautiful block of land and build a beautiful home out here in Armstrong Creek. The wonderful thing about Armstrong Creek is how much land that we have available. So right now we're standing on an estate in Armstrong Creek, but just within 2 to 3 kilometres of us, we've got estates in Lara, Charlemont, Grovedale, Warralilly, all within a couple of kilometres from where we are right now. What's included in the development? Streetscaping, which is the most important part. So within that, we have all of the roads, all of the footpaths, all of the parks, all of the shopping precincts, but importantly to you, that also includes all of the utilities. So NBN, Telstra, all the fibre optics are all included within the same development. Is there restrictions on the land? Now, the answer to that is yes, but I think for a good reason. See, these restrictions are there to make sure that the streetscape all looks nice. And what I mean by that is you can't have your next door neighbour who builds their house and then goes and paints it pink. A question that doesn't come up that often but is actually really important is what is the quality of the soil like around here? And the reason for it being so important is if we actually had the wrong soil, it significantly increases the cost to build. The beautiful thing about these master planned estates here in Geelong is that the developer has already gone and done all of the civil works, which means that your soil is of a quality that can just simply be built on. One of the biggest drawbacks about buying a block of land and building is being able to afford rental accommodation while you're doing it. And I can understand that it's a massive barrier to somebody being able to buy a block of land and build a home. We use an organisation called HomePay, and the beautiful thing about this HomePay product is that you don't need to make any loan repayments on the block of land or the build for 12 months. What that does is gives you the opportunity to continue to rent in your accommodation, have the home built. As long as it's built within the 12-month period, you make absolutely no repayments. On top of that, one of the requirements of the builder with HomePay is to make sure that your home is actually built within 12 months so that you don't get hit with any repayments along the way. Why would you buy a house and land from me? The first and most important part is I care. The Bayside entire process is about you and what your needs are. I'm going to hold your hand and I'm going to support you every part of the journey. That goes down the path of looking for the finance, but not just looking, explaining to you so that you have full understanding of what's going on. Then we're going to source the land and we're going to do that together. Then we'll go down the path of finding the builder and making sure that the builder has complete fit with you. Every part of the journey, we're going to be by your side. Not just me, the entire team at Bayside Finance and Property. So when the house is built, we obviously need to have it landscaped. Now, there are some builders out there that will not have landscaping included within the actual price. However, the ones that we deal with, it is a must. So that when you are presented with a building contract, the landscaping is included. And that includes, obviously, the plants and the trees at the front and the back, the driveway, and all the pathways that go with it. The builders that I work with is one of the most important questions that you could ask me. And the reason for that is there is a myriad of builders out there, and unfortunately, in the last 12 months, so many of them have gone broke. So it is massively important that I make sure that the builder is going to deliver a product without going broke in your budget that is going to provide you with a beautiful house that you can call home. People use Bayside Finance and Property because of our honest and simple approach. Whether you're a first home buyer, whether you're an investor, we're going to sit down and take the time to get to understand you first. Once we've done that, we're going to put a plan in place. Now that plan may be that we can buy a block of land and build a house tomorrow. Or for some people, it might take some time, but that's okay. Our job is to explain the process for you, is to hold your hand through every part of the journey, and then cover off on all facets of what's required to make the process as smooth and easy for you.